Awesome date, October 11th, 2010. Awesome topic. Bleach never looked so good. This is the OSMcast. Hi folks, and welcome once back to the OSMcast. Unless it's your first time, then hi, we're the OSMcast. I'm Basil.
I'm Eric.
I'm Rail.
And that's us. Yes, we've got Rail, a.k.a. Brad.
Who you haven't seen for about 9 months now.
They can't see you anyway.
Or heard.
Why do you do that eyebrow thing? Have you just noticed he's like you guys can't see it because we're a radio show, but Basil's over here while he's going awesome topic, and he's got this awesome look. I mean, it really is a cool like raised eyebrow. But it suddenly occurred to me for the first time in 2 years or whatever. No one can see the cool eyebrow,
but they can hear it.
But they can hear it. Yeah, exactly.
It's like when I point at the microphone.
Give him the guns.
Oh yeah. We got a really big, not a big show. We got a show.
Really big show.
It is totally a show of us talking about things. In this case, something by Mikio Takahashi, RIN-NE.
Yeah.
But you already knew that because it's in the file name.
It's in the file name. And we've probably got a big picture of the cover of RIN-NE Volume 1 on the front.
So trying to keep these things secret is kind of silly to do. So we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's a little silly to try to hide the...
But first things first, we got the website, OSMcast.com. Comments, leave them. Emails, send them to us. We like the emails.
Oh yeah, we love the emails.
Especially when, we appreciate it when we know that, for example, the Scott Pilgrim podcast needs to be fixed. We're working on that. In fact, it might be already fixed by this point. Who knows?
I think everyone listening should just send us topless shots. Guys, girls, don't really care. Like,
we'll say that too. But we knew it happened. We're on it.
Oh yeah.
But we want actual emails besides, hey, is the podcast down?
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
We've got a ton of emails, and it's almost all lately, and we're like, yay, emails! And they're almost all, hey, do you guys know that Scott Pilgrim's broken? And it's like, we know Scott Pilgrim's broken.
But we'd like to take that energy and send us actual emails.
With naked pictures. I'm sorry, what?
If you so choose.
If you so choose. And send them to my email, not to the awesome guy. Basil can't handle that. Like, he's doing the eyebrow again, but you guys can't see it. He's like, give me the eyebrow.
It's indignation.
He's spocking it. It's like, I've been spocked. It's like
Spock it like it's hot.
Yeah,
anyways.
Exactly.
We also have the Index of Awesome. If this is your first time hearing us, for whatever reason, go back and listen to all other crap.
Yeah, you can just skip all the ones that don't have Eric listed, though. They're probably shit.
I don't think they have anyone listed.
No. Whoever it is, it's always a surprise. Because that's not in the title name. Or
that's
the show
right.
notes or anything. The only thing they can expect to be on is amazement.
Okay, that was dumb.
Shut up, leave me alone.
Shut up, leave me alone.
But that's pretty much it. We will be doing some panels for Hamacon's mini convention on November 13th. We're also sort of pseudo running the video room, so it'll be fun times. I'm running panels, okay. So yeah, Hamacon, it'll be fun. Minicon, it's going to be at the Tom Bevel Center.
Yeah, Bevel Center.
$7 admission, $5 with a canned food item.
No dog food. I don't care what furries say. No dog food. Or cat food.
No, this isn't Franken Derby.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Franken Derby had.
Franken Derby had canned, but they were doing canned dog food. They were doing a pet food drawing, whereas I don't want the furries bring in some like, here's some dog food, I eat it every day, and I'm gonna be like, that's fucking gross.
It's true.
I'm a fox. That means I eat Alpo. Like, I don't need to know that.
But now you do.
Now you do.
Eric eats Alpo.
I don't eat Alpo. I'm talking. My voice indicated. My funny voice indicates that I am taking on the persona of the kitsune in this case. Or
so how many tails does your voice have? Like, is that 2 or 5?
Whatever
or
the most pretentious number is for kitsune tails, that is how much that voice would have. I don't know what that number is, but that's where it would be.
Okay, now how many angel wings or double wings do you have?
On or in my bag ready to put on?
Whatever your voice requires.
I don't know. You'd have to ask the voice.
Okay, boys, how many do you have?
It's gone.
Oh.
It left for the day.
Well, it hasn't left for the day? Awesome. And by that I mean the, not world of awesome, the moment of awesome.
It's a moment of Kevin's voice, yeah.
So, Eric, I hear you have awesome things.
Let's see. The 3DS pricing and dating came out. And
Well,
so,
for Japan.
Well, didn't the date come out for America? Just
We
like
know March.
Yeah, March. We know March, and it's the equivalent of $300 in Japan, which, in my opinion, means $275 or $250 in America, because we usually get stuff cheaper. Yay, America! It's looking pretty cool. And Mega Man Legends 3 is going to be on it. Now, is that at launch or just coming out?
Just coming out,
Just
and
coming
we'll
out.
find out more at the New York Comic Con, which may or may not have already happened by the time this gets posted.
Yeah. So that's really cool, and kicks a lot of ass. And I'm really, really excited. And it's finally starting to be the good video game season.
It's true.
Like, here we go. We got, Kirby's Epic Yarn coming up, Fallout New Vegas coming up.
There's Gran Turismo 5,
Gran
Fable
Turismo 5,
3,
Fable sucks.
the new Castlevania game that looks awesome. Or hopefully it looks awesome. We'll find out.
What's the new Castlevania for?
Lords of Shadow, 360 and PS3. It's being developed by some team in Europe, but Kojima Productions, the guys who do Metal Gear, are overseeing it.
See,
so.
Sonic Colors, just the first Sonic game.
Wait. You can't say Fable sucks and go, oh boy, Sonic.
No.
You can't do that. That doesn't work like that.
All I said was that Sonic Colors looks interesting. Fable looks like shit.
Fable looks awesome.
It looks like shit. Like saying Fable looks awesome is like saying, guys, come look at this massive poop I just pooped out. It's bigger than a baby, and women say they have the miracle of childbirth. Like, what the heck?
Because it winked at me, I'm sorry, it happens.
That was
These
a piece
things
of
occur.
corn. It wasn't even real corn. It was candy corn. Because it's getting close to Halloween. Which is also awesome. And it's also known as the Christmas in October. So it's when the entire world dresses up for Eric and pretends to be monsters for me and gives me candy. So if you guys would like to send me candy or monsters...
What he's
I will
trying to
dress up
say-
as Inuyasha just for you, Eric.
That's right.
If you
but
give me a
it's gotta be
blowjob.
slutty Inuyasha.
You
though.
gotta give me a blowjob.
If it's slutty Inuyasha.
Well, why does he have to give it to you? It's his
How can
birthday.
Inuyasha be
Because
slutty?
I enjoy Asian food.
Oh, okay.
Some suck me pork?
That's right.
How can Inuyasha be slutty though? I just don't get it.
Well, it does. It's the crotchless, whatever you call that thing that he.
Those pants are pretty loose, I'll tell you that.
Ugh, well, anyway, this is going to a whole weird area, so let's get out of this.
Well, yeah, we were talking about something about
we've
Rika
exited-
Takahashi, so...
We've exited the world of awesome and are kind of creepy.
Into
What a way
Eric
for me to
Brad
make
Chicken.
my return.
So, now that you've returned, what's your
My moment of awesome,
Yeah,
huh? My moment of awesome is the fact that I'm on this podcast for the first time in
No,
how many awesome months?
No, I want the real stuff.
You want the real
I want
stuff?
the real stuff. Give me the real stuff.
Gosh, well, I've been playing Trinity Universe, and that's pretty good.
So what is Trinity Universe, Brad?
It's the latest. No, not the latest NIS RPG that's been released in the U.S. anymore, thanks to that sorry excuse they have for Atelier Rorona U.S. copy delolified.
Oh, so you don't like the so
With no
edition?
soundtrack, too. I don't like the fact that they changed the ages just to, like, appease certain crowds, if you get what I mean. So,
The crowds that like
they complain about everything.
the crowds that don't like fucking 12-year-olds.
But it's not even about that.
Or
Maybe
is
it's not
it?
about, or is it?
It's a culture of fear. That's what I'm saying.
No, okay. It's a culture of fear of pedophilia. Like, our culture is deathly afraid of so many Japanese pedophiliacs. And for once, I agree with the fear mongering. Like,
Oh, pedophiles. You sicken and disgust me.
hi, Kevin. Anyway,
Oh, leave Kevin alone.
leave Kevin alone.
He's more elevator EX nowadays. Anyway, they have elevators that talk. Tell you what floor they're on, and whether they're going up or down. They always talk to Kevin's in the elevator. But never talked when it was just myself in the elevator.
Maybe the elevators just don't like you, not they like Kevin.
Or maybe they might be hitting on Kevin. It might
Well, were
be.
they new elevators?
Yes.
So they're young elevators.
That's right. Let me tell you, I don't think there's a more delicious flat chest than
An elevator. You haven't even begun to warp. That's terrible. Anyway, what's your moment of awesome, Basil?
So, the fall anime season has happened, and so far we've gotten at least 2 shows that do not suck. Or at least, I've only watched 2 shows, and they didn't suck, so I'm going to assume that they're good.
I don't know, Barry watched a lot of shitty Barry watched a lot of stuff that even Barry couldn't get through more than 5 minutes.
That was last season.
That was last season.
No,
brand new
he
season.
was watching the brand new stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he was getting, like he said he was. I don't know if he was, but he said these were 2 of the new anime shows from this season. That's what he said. I don't know.
I don't know what you watched.
So what did you watch, Basil?
I watched Iron Man and Bakuman.
I figured.
Iron Man.
Because I knew you would never like MM, so...
M&M's? I like M&M's.
No, it's not Eminence, it's MM.
Pretzel
M&M.
M&M's?
Yes, it's the new one by Zebek. Obviously,
You say all these
obviously
weird names like I know. It's the new one by Zebek.
yeah.
Ragnarok, click, kavong.
Same people who did To Love Ru, which they're doing a new season of this this coming season too.
now
So
I
I've linked it, and it's stuff that I like that Basil makes fun of me for, but he knew I would like it, so
So speaking of stuff that's not Moe Moe bullshit,
exactly.
Iron Man is Iron Man if it was
I
an
thought it
anime.
was pretty fucking awesome.
I really enjoyed it. I do agree with Del Surratt. Tony Stark needs to be more of a dick.
Yeah,
Like, he's a little bit neutered. in
they
this.
made him a little bit too Japanified. So
Well,
if you ask me.
I mean, it depends on what era of Tony Stark you're dealing with. Are we trying to get the movie translation, which is, I assume, what you're talking about? Or are you trying to get early Tony Stark or later Tony Stark?
Look! Have
or...
you seen this episode?
I have not.
He's not Tony Stark.
No, he's got moments.
He's got moments, but
definitely
he's
has
not.
moments.
He's not.
Okay, well, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't pass judgment, but as someone who, I mean, I just don't know what you guys are basing your opinion of Tony Stark off of.
Well, we'll have you watch the episode, and you can tell us what era he comes from.
Yes,
later.
right after this
Okay.
awesome cast.
Right after this awesome cast.
But no, it's good. It's fun. The soundtrack's great. They got some guy on a guitar who's constantly riffing through the entire episode, just waiting to start, slamming down on his pick. The CG of the Iron Man suits don't look too bad. It's Madhouse, so they usually know how to actually animate things.
Yes.
It is kind of weird hearing Tony Stark as a Japanese guy,
Yeah.
but I'll get over it. Then Bakuman is a new Shonen Jump manga turned into anime. It's about 2 guys. It's a manga about 2 guys writing manga. What their goal is to get an anime out of it. And now an anime is being made about that manga. It's kind of meta, but it's good. It's fun. And those are my moments of awesome.
And how are they translating Bakuman? I mean, since the whole point was they were trying to get an anime made, right? Like, how are they doing that in the anime?
Well, I mean, it's the same idea, is that these are 2 guys that are going to make a manga with the goal of eventually getting it made into an anime.
Yeah.
And so this is just an anime adaptation of that.
Interesting.
So,
I
it's
kind
really,
of like Bakuman. I'd like to watch that one too, actually.
and they definitely got, the thing going on where they explain, how the manga industry works, how they're going to be doing this, how they break into it. Although it doesn't, of course, it's the first episode, so I don't really get into it yet. But it's definitely a good adaptation that looks like it's going to continue on being good. It's good manga, so hopefully it'll end up
I
being
haven't
good
seen
anime.
it, but why am I being reminded of Animation Runner Chromie or Otaku no Video or something along those lines? It's just another successor. Like, it seems like every couple of years some anime will come out about whose main subject deals with anime itself or the manga industry itself or anime clubs. Like, Genshiken, Comic Party. And I think this is just the latest one in that type of genre.
Yeah, but it's made by a very known quantity.
Yeah, it's by the guys who
It's
made
the
Death Note.
It's the
Well, I'm
Death
not
Note
criticizing. I'm not criticizing the fact that it's being made or who's making it.
Well,
but
I
it's
think
just
it's more that it's never been done by these, I guess, caliber of guys who have made, known super successful stuff, whereas there's other stuff you mentioned, except for talking a video, where this is
Well,
their
it's
thing
Gainax.
where they got into it. So but this is more equating to maybe Gainax because
now who's doing this again?
Death Note, guys.
Death Note guys.
Guys,
The
the
two guys
manga
who did Death Note.
is by the writer and artist of Death Note.
Okay, what do you know? What studio is
I
doing
think
the
it's
anime?
JC staff,
I'll have to check. I think you're right though,
but it's pretty good, and
which is funny because I like most stuff by JC Staff.
well, I think you'll like this. But it's good stuff. Good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, I guess we'll take a break and then we'll come back with Rumiko Takahashi's new manga work.
Don't we have to do World of Awesome?
No, that's what we did.
We don't know World of Awesome anymore.
Yeah,
We don't?
We don't do World of Awesome. We
No.
don't do the news anymore.
Oh wow, you can tell I've been away for a long time. So
Well, now that we've switched to a every other week format,
oh
there's no one in the world to actually actively keep up with the
Keep
news.
it in the news. Yeah.
When we were weekly, it was one thing to be a week behind on news sometimes.
mm-hmm.
It's another thing to be always 2 or 3 weeks behind on the news. So,
Shows what I know.
Anyway,
well, maybe if you were listening,
Yeah, I know you're about to say that,
well, for those
but you
of us-
haven't covered anything I wanted.
Man, whatever. We talk about nothing but awesome stuff all the time.
Well, what your definition of awesome is different
Is the
from my
cool.
definition.
And maybe that's why you haven't been around for not. Anyways, we are going to be back with Renee. So have I ever explained my theory on Takahashi on the podcast before?
I don't remember.
Which theory?
Well, the Takahashi theory that...
No, you have. There's
I
several
think you
theories
have.
going around.
No, he means his theory that
My
you can categorize people by their first.
Yo, that one, yes.
Yes, and
which
you
is a
have-
very good theory, but go ahead and explain it.
You have done it before, but it's probably prudent to.
Okay,
Yes.
what I refer to as the Takahashi theory is that my theory is that you can sort of gauge where you entered in on what's considered anime fandom generation, depending on what your first Takahashi series is, or which Takahashi series you most relate to. You might have, like, say, your Urusei Yatsura / Misu Nakoku fans who sort of founded the anime fandoms as we know it. The quote-unquote Star Blazers generation.
The 80s generation.
Then you might have, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
That setup.
Yeah.
Then you have more of the 90s, which is the Rama generation.
Go Ranma!
Yeah.
which really caught in on the the boom of like stuff like Cowboy Bebop, Sailor Moon, that sort of stuff.
There were a lot of good stuff
Dragon
that
Ball.
came from Japan in the 90s. Slayers, etc.
And then you have the latest generation, the Inuyasha generation, the 2000s, which is the stuff that came, the really super post-Toonami, generation.
Which is true
Adult
because
Swim
even though
generation.
Inuyasha as a manga began in 95 because of rights issues with former Kitty Films, the anime didn't start till 2000, so it is considered a 2000s type series or a Knots type series.
Well, plus, I don't know, I'd call them the fucking massive generation, because while there were big, long series before then, man, Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, Inuyasha. I mean,
Inuyasha did end, though.
and started back up again.
No, the manga did end. They started it up for another season
I'm
only
talking
to
about anime right now.
but they started up for another season only to basically finish it.
That happened to other things like Dragon Ball was massive.
Yeah.
I just said Dragon
Sailor Moon was massive.
Well,
There were other, this
seems
North
like-
Star lasted forever.
You could go up
Rurouni
to about-
Kenshin lasted
yeah.
for
It
several
just
seasons.
seems to me like, that lately there's this huge trend towards giant series, but maybe it's just him paying more attention. But
Well, the big shonen series we always would pay attention to was Dragon Ball as a big giant series.
And now the past 10
And
years,
now-
you've had three. You've had One
With
Piece,
Shonen Jump
Naruto,
stuff
and
being more prevalent
Bleach.
in
Bleach.
the U.S.
Yeah.
We now notice it more. I mean, hell, Detective Conan's still going.
There have been
Goemon,
posts within at least the Japanese and hardcore U.S. blog or English language blogosphere among anime fans that if it weren't for these three series and all the sales and associated money and revenue that they pick up, the manga industry would probably collapse or severely contract to a point where it wouldn't recover for another 10 years. So who knows what will happen once all three of them end?
if they ever do,
If they ever
If
do.
they-
And they're not going to end
Hey.
because that's the money maker.
On a side note, One Piece actually just came back from its hiatus. They did a 2-year time skip, which means that they're now entering the second half of the Grand Line. So he's in the final arc, however long that arc may last. But, I mean, it is, we've hit some sort of point of no return,
Yeah.
for One Piece at least. I don't buy anything else. It
You
might
could-
still take forever.
But see, you could have said that about entering the Grand Line. Like you could have said we've entered a point of no return, right?
Back to
Starting the
Takahashi.
Grand
Back to
Line.
Takahashi,
Back to
though.
Takahashi.
And your theory works because 80 to 90% of all anime fans that watch stuff besides Dragon Ball Z or Naruto, etc., any popular Shonen Jump series, have seen one or more of the Takahashi series and likes it casually enough to a point where they know all the main characters, they can associate, tell you a bit of the storyline.
And, there are some people who are different. I know some people who are older for Ranma
Yeah.
or Inuyasha. I know some people who are technically of our generation, but actually more relate to Mason and Koku. I mean, it varies.
Well, I think I don't know. It's your theory, but I would do it as the one you saw first, not necessarily one you like best and most relate to.
I know, because I actually like Inuyasha better than Rama 1
Yeah,
half, but
but
I grew up on
grew
Rama
up
1
on
half,
Rama
so
1
anytime I
half.
see Rama 1 half, it brings back feelings of nostalgia that not even Urusei Yatsura does, because for me, even though I grew up with Rama 1 half, Urusei Yatsura is just such a great series that I have to give respect to it as a Takahashi series.
Well, there's stuff
so,
like
and I think
Drew
it's
and Daryl Surratt, who both started on Mason and Koku first.
uh-huh.
Or Yatsura first, not Ranma. Like, in Daryl's case, he actually chose to not start Ranma first. He decided to go back before watching Ranma. So, like I said, there's exceptions to every rule, which helps prove the rule. So, it works out. But the point is that, Inuyasha's ending, we're entering eventually a new generation of fans.
Yeah.
And like clockwork, there is a new Takahashi series,
Bam.
which is RIN-NE.
And she only
Or-
took a 6-month vacation.
What if Bleach was good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. The more you read it, the
That's
more you kind of
that's the
become
opening
convinced.
line of this podcast.
You really do get the feeling, at least I did while reading this, was that
she's
she read
making fun of Bleach.
and then she read Bleach and went like, "Oh fuck, no, you didn't." Like, I can do this so much better. And, even down to the red-haired main character.
Yeah.
Like,
who is a Shinigami,
yeah.
who, is trying to save lost souls before they turn into demons. I don't know where I've heard that before as a plot line.
Yeah, exactly. I can't imagine it. Who
was discovered by a girl who, could see ghosts. I guess that's been flipped around.
Yeah, it's been flipped around. I mean, there's flipped around stuff, but there's all sorts of parallels, and we can talk about it in depth. I mean, there's the character. Is it Volume 3 where they introduce the character that's the family of demon hunters that are killing the demons or the family of ghost hunters, the spirit hunters.
What's his name?
Yeah,
the guy that reminds you of Ryoga.
Well, he reminds you of Ryoga.
Well, actually, RIN-NE reminds me of Ryoga.
Yeah.
I think RIN-NE's more like Ranma.
Miroku. If I had to tag a Takahashi character with
he's not as perverted as Miroku.
He's not as perverted as Miroku, but he's got much more of the dramatic thing. Oh wait, you're really doing it for this?
I don't know. He reminds me more of Ranma because he's got this sort of personality where you only realize it by the way he says his lines, and you don't realize it at first, but he really is full of himself.
I don't know. Like I said,
no, it's really struck me as what if Ryoga got to be a main character in a Ranma series or Takahashi series.
But
wait, so you think Renee's like Ryoga?
Yes.
Back to where I was going.
He's a more serious, very. Rama's like, man, I don't care, whatever, man.
Well, I think he's totally Miroku. I think he's totally Miroku because he's got that aloof attitude, but he's really got these base motives the whole time he's doing.
So is Ryoga.
It's like, no, he did well, yeah, but not in the same way. Like there's a very specific scene in Inuyasha where Moroku's going like, of course I saved you, my lady, and everything, talking to Sango all honorably, and then it pans out and his hand's on her ass, and it's like, oh, you just want to distract me to put her.
But I told it RIN-NE would never do that.
But RIN-NE would never do that with the perversion, but flip it to a money thing. Where
he's definitely.
I could score some money doing this
exactly,
and it's the same thing, just with a different vice. Like instead of trying to get the woman, he's trying to get the money.
Instead of lust, it's greed.
It's greed.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think that's where it's. But anyway, there's a character who's killing ghosts or spirits the wrong way, and his family's been doing it for years, and he's a total copy of that same guy that uses arrows in Bleach, whose name I can't remember because I don't watch Bleach. But there's a guy who's like a Shinigami, but he
I think his name is
them.
Tsubasa.
Yeah, something like that. Like
well, the guy in RIN-NE is Tsubasa Jumanji.
Yeah.
That's his name.
And he's introduced as a transfer student in the 3rd volume, and he's sort of, you can tell Takahashi, usually about 2 or 3 volumes into any major series she does, she will introduce a second male sort of, kind of, I guess you could call them sort of a protagonist, but an X factor, so to speak, that sort of emerges as a rival to the male lead protagonist. And that's what he's obviously being geared towards. Sort of like, Rama had Ryoga, and Inuyasha didn't have just one. You could make an argument for Koga, but then there's also Miroku, who is sort of a second.
Rama had Ryoga, Kuno.
Yeah, but of all those, Ryoga was the first among equals.
No, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't even use first among equals. Like, I think Ryoga is on a completely different level of character. Like, it's almost the same way that Ukiyo was a completely different level of all the fiancés because she was Ranma's old, friend.
Yeah.
And Ryoga, in the same sort of way, is like, there's a much more personal rivalry between Ryoga and Ranma than there ever. Ranma's.
Although I think Inuyasha's equivalent would have been Sesshomaru, but there's no romantic rivalry
there's also
there.
This vampire type dude that
Well, yes, there's that vampire RIN-NE.
Like,
I love that character, by the way.
Masa, whatever.
And he's much more of a personal thing, like there's much more personal vendetta between those two characters.
Well, yeah,
But the
I can
Actions
agree
guy-
with that. Yeah.
But the Actions guy actually sticks around.
Well,
to me.
but again, it's just one volume. Like I mean, we've only got 3 volumes in. I'm sure Vampire Kitty is going to be back with his horrible plans for revenge.
But our actual main characters, we haven't really talked
Really
about
talking
yet,
about
is RIN-NE Rakudo and Sakura Mamiya. That's the Japanese word I'm looking for.
That's the Japanese word.
Mamiya.
And it's kind of interesting because I would almost say that Sakura is more of a it's got the Inuyasha thing where it's hard to tell who's the main
she's
character.
the equivalent of Kagome,
Like,
but the series is named after the male lead, so
well, it's one of those things where in at least for me in Ranma, and that's the one I've seen a ton. I would never call Akane like a dual lead. I would say Ranma's the main
Ranma's
character.
the obvious
yeah,
lead.
It's the main character. And then she's the head female character. But I would almost say that Sakura is more of a... It's more about Sakura's life having to deal with RIN-NE than it is about RIN-NE's life hanging around Sakura.
well, I think there's a comparison to be made here with Inuyasha.
Well, exactly,
Even
yeah.
as late as say 12 or 13 volumes, it was very I shouldn't say very obvious, but most people would have agreed that although you could make the argument that the story centered around Kagome and she was the focal point, Inuyasha was the main character, so to speak. But in this series, and it may be because there's only a manga out and things translate differently once you get into an anime format, but it's pretty obvious to me that Sakura is the main character, even though RIN-NE is who is this.
Even though it's named
The same
RIN-NE,
RIN-NE is who the series is named after, and he's the one that does most of the action sequences.
Is RIN-NE, but again, to me, the story is mostly about poor Sakura having to deal with
Because
RIN-NE.
all the other characters revolve around her, and she has the most lines by far. So,
like all the villains come in or most of the villains come in attacking RIN-NE. But again, it's more because she's a good Like a lot of it's because Sakura's just a decent person, and so she sees these kind of things going on because she's the only one who can see the ghosts and the supernatural, and she kind of has to help. She just kind of feels she's got to help out.
yes.
There's also many times where she doesn't realize what she's doing in the spirit world and gets herself in trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one time was at the end of Volume 1 where she was walking toward the wheel and didn't know it. Yeah,
the wheel of void reincarnation.
yeah.
Which again, I really think in a lot of ways this is.
Well, I mean, it's especially. I mean, I have no clue what Bleach is about nowadays, since it's
Because it's
definitely-
changed.
It's gone into a
Changed.
power creep. But at its core, what RIN-NE is that RIN-NE is a Shinigami who his job is to find wayward souls and return them to the wheel of reincarnation before they turn into crazy monster demon things.
Who's doing the job because his mom owes it, or is it
Grandmother.
His grandmother owes this debt, and so
Yeah.
So RIN-NE is incredibly poor.
he's incredibly
And
poor.
Sakura, unfortunately, is gifted with the ability to see spirits and interact with them, and so she gets to see him no matter what he does, whether he's in his spirit
Cloak
or not.
Yeah.
Because he's not a full Shinigami, he's
He's a human that does the work. He's a half Shinigami or
Yeah.
something like that. Like
he has a cloak that allows him to interact with spirits, but the thing is that so she's helping him out do all these things, and him to keep doing his job while also both being high school students.
I love
and the shenanigans that come thereof.
I absolutely love his how all his attacks cost money, and he's got to spend.
Yes.
So it's like it's this ultimate joke of you got to spend money to make money, where
Yep.
he's like he's trying to make money by being a Shinigami, but at the same time like he has to spend money for all his attacks. Like what do you have the reign of single yen notes or something
Yeah.
like that? It's somewhere
Yes.
or 100 yen notes or whatever at one point, and all sorts of stuff, and it's just really great shit. Like the whole jokes made off of that are really good.
Which is one of those things that, thanks to both Japan and Sakami now slowly improving but now things in the United States, everyone's economies are all in the gutter. It's kind of neat, kind of an interesting parallel because we're constantly like, oh God, money, 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 and Brenea's
Money.
money.
You know, what does he say in the very first one where he's like, I'm really sorry, but this technique's going to cost 500 yen.
Yes.
And she's like, fine.
Does she give him the coin?
Yeah,
or
she
something?
gives him the coin. She like flips him the coin and is like, okay, here. You know. And he's got this absurdly inflated sense of money. Like he's living in an abandoned lot or something like that on campus, and he only wears a gym uniform to school because he can't. And he wears
he can't afford the normal school uniform.
And he wears the like 6th grade gym uniform too. He's in like high school and he's wearing the middle school gym uniform and all the time, like the track uniform. And he's going to the coach and going like, "I'm really sorry, I can't afford anything better," you know. And, it's just really a funny little series, and it, like Basil said, the whole spirit of the week aspect is really cool because if there's somebody who can come up with funny, creative stuff every time, you know
Well, as we're talking about, the whole Japanese culture is just thick with various yokai and other monsters and ghost stories and all sorts of Japanese mythological things that she can just pull from liberally, and will have enough material to last forever if she wanted to.
Well, but she does it so entertainingly, you know. The little girl that haunts the bathroom.
Yes.
And
the
the ghost of the drawing, like the spirit of the drawing. Not that it wasn't the
There
spirit.
wasn't even somebody who died.
Yeah, it wasn't even the spirit
just
of the girl. It was the spirit of the drawing. The spirit of the beautiful girl that was swimming, like, and all that, and didn't want to win the swim competition or something like that. It was all, you know, all these really hilarious. I love the ghost who kept following. Who was the ghost that just kept following him around, going, "I'm a ghost"? Like, it was in one of the first ones where he meets a guy and he's like, "I'm a ghost."
I like the cat. The
cat
Pokemon
ghost.
or whatever.
Yeah, the cat ghost was pretty good too. Like,
No, the little cat thing.
I like the little cat except for
Pokemon
when he
whatever.
turns into a giant demon.
Yeah.
Like, I like the little cat as a little cat. I just don't like him
Well,
as a
he's
demon.
obviously the Shippo replacement, so to speak. So.
And it is, you know, it's if you've read any of Takahashi's series, it's well in line with it. To me, in a lot of ways, it's like if you crossed Inuyasha with Ranma, because you've got the Ghost of the Week that is like the martial arts of the week.
Yes.
You know, martial arts, French food eating, martial arts. You know, pig wrestling. Also,
the real world / school type of setting, and the way that even the characters are designed.
Yeah,
like, for instance, Sakura's double pigtails. That reminds me of, like, oh, well, that was just, you know...
early Akane, like,
yeah.
The first. And then you have, and so you've got that combined with the more, you know, Japanese mythological setting, like you were talking about, where it's like, that's the two things. It's like she took the sort of trappings from Inuyasha and merged them with the more comedic, you know, joke of the week kind of style of Ranma and created
definitely
a series out of it.
But still, even though it's kooky and wacky, it's not. It's a little more subdued.
It's a little bit more subdued.
Yeah, it is.
But you don't know because remember, Ranma started a little bit more subdued than Ranma ended up. Like Ranma in the beginning.
You look through like
was
the first.
Less, what the fuck? Than Ranma at the end.
You know the first 10 volumes of that series.
Pig wrestler.
The first 10 volumes of that series, or the first 2 TV seasons of Ranma and half, were very. You know, they're a little bit more plot oriented and they're slower paced. And then by the time, you know, you got to 3rd, 4th, 5th season, all of a sudden it's like a different joke each episode.
Exactly.
And it was funny at first, but once you get past a couple of seasons like that, it's like, okay, this is beginning to get on my nerves.
Well, I think it's more grounded in reality.
Yeah.
Than Ranma
but
was.
again,
for Ranma
and
had
that
the spring, just the spring of drown whatever. That by itself is crazier than seeing ghosts. It just is.
I disagree. I disagree that the idea of a Shinigami and the demon and all. I would say there's way more crazy stuff. Like the idea of there's just one set of crap, because in the beginning of Ranma you pretty much had there's one set of cursed springs. First season, maybe 2 seasons, that was the everything was a spring of drowned. You know, like that was what it was, and that's all you had. Like you had this water and this other, you know, and. At least in my opinion, I think that the entire tangible spirit world is much kookier to me the fact that somewhere out there is a springs of magical water. They're both pretty kooky, but in my opinion,
I don't know, the fact that, seeing spirits and dealing with ghosts and stuff seems such a more traditional Japanese thing.
It might be because you haven't seen that many series that cover that topic. So.
If it was just the fact that if it was just the Spirit of the Week stuff, I could give it to you. But the fact that they've gone to hell at one point, and they've gone to this Great Wheel, and they've been to all these... Like, it's not just that they're seeing ghosts. I mean, they're going to different dimensions of the underworld and stuff like that. And that's a little bit more, in my opinion, than, as kooky as Ranma got for the first couple of seasons, she never left reality. Like... Which they do eventually do in Run 1.5. But again...
the stuff I've seen here, it feels like the stuff I've seen before, just given a Takahashi spin.
Yeah.
Whereas Ranma felt much more fresh and original. But they could also easily just be because Ranma was one of my first anime.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say.
Knowing that it's anime.
Well, not only that, and I'm not... This is actually just kind of interesting. I'm not trying to offend, but you're also much more religious than I am. And so the fact that there's look, she can interact with the afterlife might seem much more normal than Curse Springs to you. Whereas to me, it's all just different, fantasy constructions, and the first one's much more elaborate fantasy construction than the second one. And maybe to you, like, a religious construction is easier to ground in the real world, if that makes any sense. Like, it could also be that at play. I could be wrong, but that would be interesting. Like, it's interesting to think about.
I just see a lot of parallels to ROM 1/2 in this series, borrowing elements from Inuyasha and general Japanese folklore, so...
I think we'll see this one go the way of Ranma. I really kind of think that this is because I really believe the first couple of seasons of Ranma were really, anchored more in reality, and then it got kookier and kookier as the jokes got more and more.
The way the plot's going is centered, or has more in common with Ranma 1/2 than Inuyasha, because Inuyasha is a true story tale. It's an epic where you really can't miss one or two chapters, otherwise you're totally lost. Where with this anime, there's a plot, but at the same time,
it is much more serialized.
Yes, it's more serialized. It's like, I've seen this before. This is just with a different twist.
There's also much more of an underpinning plot, though, because the whole thing with the grandmother is the one who gave her the ability to see ghosts.
But that's not different from Ranma 1/2. The whole underpinning plot of Ranma 1/2 was that he had to marry one of the 3 daughters.
Yes, but that is a much simpler plot than this one person has met her and she's gone to the afterlife before, but RIN-NE doesn't know that. There's, in my opinion, a much more... I mean, it's not super elaborate like Inuyasha, but it's much more elaborate than Ranma's, which was you will marry somebody.
Well, yeah, that's obvious, but I think it's closer to Ranma 1/2 than Inuyasha.
Again, I agree. I'm just saying it's in the middle.
It's much more of a more complex framework upon which the series is built.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, but it's still designed more as a serial, so you can jump in at whatever time and more or less catch yourself up pretty easily.
Like Ranma has the simplest plot, carry on in the world. There's 3 daughters. Ranma's betrothed to one. He's got to marry one eventually. Bam. I mean, you're done. I just explained it. RIN-NE is not exactly brain surgery. It's not super complicated, but there is much bigger framework under there.
Like, I would compare it more to, say, to use an earlier episode, Blackjack, where Blackjack is very much a serial story, but it has an underpinning of a plot that you can actually, it occasionally returns to here and there.
Exactly.
But RIN-NE has more of a plot than Blackjack.
Yeah, exactly.
More of an
underpinning, yeah.
Like, you could technically read Blackjack in any order you want and be okay, more or less. Well, there's some stories that wouldn't work, whereas RIN-NE, it's still pretty much, you still really do need to...
Well, you really need Volume 1. Like, in my Volume 1 in that one bit, I think it's in Volume 2 where it's revealed that the grandmother is the one that...
Well, for me, it feels much more, I guess, more like Avatar: Last Airbender. There's a definite continuity with the stories. Like, this story leads into that story, this story leads into that story, for, like, the character interpersonal relationships, where, the plots might be different, how the characters are affected by it, that grows.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't Volume 2 also go into why Sakura can actually see the ghosts?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They
that's
start doing
another
that.
thing. That's another gear in the plot.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Like, for example, Blackjack Pinocchio, they more or less have the same relationship they have throughout the entire series. Whereas you see from Volume 1 to Volume 3, between Sakura and Renee, it's grown.
Grows, yeah.
Like, and so if you try to read a story Volume 1 to Volume 3, they're going to seem different because their characters are actually actively growing as you watch the series, even though the individual plots of the Ghost of the Week.
On top of that, it's
time.
easy to compare Renee to Rama or Inuyasha depending on how deep the plot is. But keep in mind, Renee has not even had an anime yet, and it's only 3 manga volumes plus whatever.
Four.
How many? It's
Four
4
just
now,
came out.
and
Is it here?
four
It's
in
out in
Japan.
America.
So it'll be out in America like probably
No.
within the next couple.
No,
of
it's
years.
releasing simultaneously.
Yeah, they're
Like-
releasing it simultaneously, but it depends on how long it takes for the publisher to actually print the books. So, which is another thing that's great about Renee that we ought to talk about. It's like the first Takahashi series where
I think it's
the
first.
Japanese and the through Viz Media and their parent company Shogakukan in Japan, getting a simultaneous Japanese and English language release
think it's
on
the
the web
first
at the
major
same
one,
time.
right?
Yeah, it's the
Like,
first
it's the
major
first
one by a
major-
first major
By the first
mangaka.
major author.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first manga, I think, at least, or one of the first.
So
I'm sure there's been something else, but like I bet this is the first like.
Where, you know,
No.
as soon as the chapter comes out in Japan, Viz has a scanned, cleaned up digital version that you can actually go to the website and read.
yeah.
Like it's,
I would not be surprised to see an anime come out within the next couple of years too.
Oh, I'm sure right
Now,
now.
maybe they might
Oh, they're
try
just
and
waiting to get
they're-
enough.
yeah.
ahead.
enough
maybe-
buffer from the
Enough
manga.
buffer. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a Takahashi series. This is getting
maybe
an
maybe
anime.
they're also trying to do that simultaneous release for the anime as well, and are trying to figure out the logistics behind it. Let's say, how do we do a Japanese and an
I need to
English
get
release
volume
at the
4.
same
Damn it.
time?
Well, I'm sure
So-
that will happen is we may not see an American TV release.
Yeah.
We'll see definitely a digital, like a Hulu or Crunchyroll.
Probably,
or
probably
Viz or something like
Japanese
that
with
release.
English subtitles.
Yeah, that we'll see.
Yeah.
Day one, just like we have been for most of the anime out nowadays. They get a dual release, at least subtitled.
Yeah.
Well,
FMA Brotherhood's a good example of that.
I don't know. I'm loving it so far. It starts out slow. I really want
Yeah,
to
it
tell.
does.
I really want to tell everybody who goes to read Renee, buy volume 1 and 2, and then read through both of them because 1 is. I don't think 1 is bad, but it's got so much. It spends most of its time setting up the framework of the series.
Yes, 1 is very, very dry.
Yeah, it's very dry.
You're not gonna like it alone unless you're a Takahashi fan
Yeah,
and you're
that's a
familiar
huge
with the way
Takahashi
she
fan.
does her storylines and her humor. Otherwise, you won't get any entertainment out of 1 unless you intend to read 2 and 3 in subsequent
go
volumes.
buy 1 and 2, and then get through 2 because I was rolling into 2 and 3. I think I'm not going to spoil it, but 3 has probably my favorite Takahashi joke in the history of me reading her work, and that's saying something considering I love how much it actually finally beat the joke made in episode 1 of Ranma 1/2 as my favorite Takahashi joke ever was. No, it's when girl type Ranma goes,
out of the bath.
She goes, whatever. I was, it's something I haven't seen before, and I'm better built to boot. And then it kind of lifts the whole table up and goes, wham! And it's just Son again sitting there going, well, he kind of really deserves it.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's like she's doing a double victory sign, if I remember correctly, after she's lying on the floor with a table on top of her.
That's my favorite Takahashi joke ever until Volume 3 of Renee, and Volume 3 has it, and you guys will either know it when you see it, or you have no sense of humor. And I know both these two know exactly what joke I'm talking about, so.
But it is good stuff. And
It's wonderful stuff. Yeah.
We'll take a break and we'll come back with our very, very prestigious rating system. So, how many awesomes out of awesome?
I think I gotta give it 6 major Takahashi series out of awesome. I'm right. It's it's Mizunokoku, Urusei Yatsura, Ranma 1/2.
Inuyasha.
No,
5. Because that's what I was going to give it, but you ruined it for me.
5 out of... Well, I'll give it 6 because it's that good.
He stole my joke, so I'm going to say 5 out of 5.
Rumik Theater. There we go. 6.
That's not, no.
Mermaid Scar?
All right,
No.
fine.
Mermaid
1 pound
Scar?
gospel.
1 pound
there
gospel.
you go.
1 pound gospel. There
That
we
does
go.
not count. That is not a major...
I'm sorry, but I'm a purist like
give it
Eric.
1 pound of awesome.
Look. Well, that's good. There you go. You should have said that in the first place.
Awesome.
5 major series out of 5 major series of awesomes. So...
I'm going to give it a gigantic plethora of wacky ghost hijinks of awesome.
God damn it, there better be an anime soon because there was just one little preview of the manga that was in anime form
Oh, it
that
will
is...
It will be. You know
Yeah.
it will be.
But you've
Like,
seen it, right?
They're going to make
Yes.
so much
Yeah, that's
freaking
pretty
money off of
awesome.
it, but I'm sure they're waiting for enough manga to get made they can actually animate without
Yeah,
immediately
I agree.
jumping into filler. Because anime
Then
burns
they're gonna-
through manga like really fast.
They're gonna have to
Crazy
get
fast.
Kabe Yamaguchi back because he's obviously gonna be casted for RIN-NE.
That's right.
And there's already 4 volumes out in the U.S. You can buy them right now. There's probably a pretty good chance your Barnes and Noble or Borders.
So when did the 4th volume come out? Because
Like a
Ed
week
didn't have it
ago,
in my
like a
box.
week ago.
Yeah, it
Oh,
must have been
okay.
like a week ago because I was.
There
in
better
there
be
looking
something
for it
in my
the
box
other
on Wednesday. Then.
Like I know Anime Network just put out the review for it, so
Okay.
it's got to be either out last week or this week. It's really soon, but it's good stuff. Definitely, in my opinion, a cut above Inuyasha, but I wasn't a huge fan of Inuyasha.
I'm not gonna say anything
Yeah,
about
we don't need to
comparing
get
it to
into that
Inu.
argument. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that-
not even
I'm
into that.
as much as I like Inuyasha, I'm not gonna say
I would
anything
place
about
it-
it. I'm not even gonna say anything about it in comparison to Ranma 1/2 because only 3 volumes are out so far.
Yeah, that
Ask
too.
me,
That too.
ask me in 5 years, and then I'll be able to give a more
Yeah.
definite
Yeah,
answer.
exactly.
But so far, I feel.
But so far, I think it's not a disappointment. It's
For
what I
me-
expected from Takahashi, and a little bit more.
it's a return to form.
It's a return to form.
Yeah.
Like I think she got her epic out, and now she wants to do something more simple, and I'm enjoying that.
I'm enjoying it too.
And so go out, buy it, and until next time, we are out.